Not here to talk about football or even the state of Notre Dame or the state of college education. We're here to talk about K through 12 education. And it seems to me that a very funny thing has happened on the way to a whole-scale national reform of our K through 12 schools. Now I'm speaking, of course, of the Common Core, and I'm referring to the pell-mell adoption of that curriculum, or I should say standards with curriculum entailed, by the Obama administration, by 45 states, by over 100 Catholic dioceses and archdioceses in the United States, the adoption of a wholesale reform over the space of about 2 years, beginning in 2010. I think if one did not know anything further about the Common Core or anything about the political processes such as they were having to do with that course of adoption, one would conclude, as I do, and submit to you that it was something done of paramount importance with undue haste and inadequate consideration. So this conference is meant to be an attempt to correct that inadequacy, to take a hard, critical look at the Common Core. This conference really comes at the beginning, not the very beginning, but towards the end of the beginning of the rollback of Common Core, because the funny thing that happened on the way to this wholesale reform was that there was parents, I think especially parents, began to look at the curriculum and recognize the problems with it. And then in light of the haste with which it was adopted by their elites, their political and educational leaders began to push back. So I think there's a mini rebellion underway. And this conference is not meant to be rebellious, but it is meant to be part of this reappraisal of the Common Core. And I think there are two things that I can say, two more things I can say with some confidence about what's happening right now with Common Core and this resistance or rebellion or reappraisal of which this conference, I hope, will be an important part. One is that we're on the cusp, beginning to have a conversation about the purpose and character of our K through 12 schools in America. It's a conversation unlike any other I've seen, that is to say, during the course of my lifetime. So if that's not unique in American history, it's unique in recent American history. And the other peculiar thing about this conversation is that it's not elite-driven. It most certainly is not. The organizers of this grassroots movement are parents, some teachers, ordinary people, if I may call them that, without any intended insult whatsoever. Actually, I consider it a sort of term of admiration. But ordinary people saying, enough, stop, let's take another look at this. So the elites are beginning to listen. And I think that this movement, this reappraisal, will be a powerful factor in political elections over the next 3 years or so. And we hope to contribute to that conversation about education and to that political development today.